Hello, MS Live. I'm your host, Dulci Hill, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about Gilenya. So let me share this to Meerkats because it's what. So it's live on my Facebook page. It is in MS Meerkats, and it's on YouTube. So if you're here, that is that's what we're doing. Going to talk about Gilenya today. Uh, and a new screen thing that I'm doing here is that only subscribers on YouTube can look at our chat. So I just don't. I just. We got to get the haters out. All right, let's see. So haters can. There's been people who watch us who that don't have MS, and I'm just learning. Let's see, subscribers. Yep. Let's just do that. So if you're on YouTube, you gotta subscribe to my channel in order to to watch or participate in the chat. Uh, so, how is everybody doing today? I don't see the feedback as much. I don't see the feedback. I see that people are watching, but I'm not. It's going to be really hard just to talk without answering questions. So first of all, I want to talk a couple things. Just I Rob. So just a couple things. First of all, let me talk about the bird feeders. Hi, Betty Joe. There has been a lot of people are saying that the songbirds have disappeared. Right. So I'm telling you a story while we get going. Uh, Anyway, the songbirds are disappearing because now there is some sort of a disease that affects their eyes that is killing these cardinals. Hi, CJ. Uh, um, it's killing the cardinals. I know we have a lot of female cardinals, but the males haven't been around. So many. The songbirds have disappeared, and their eyes get crusty, and they're dying, and they're trying to figure out. It's highly contagious, whatever this disease is, and it's in the Northeast or in the Southeast actually, up to Maryland or I don't know if it's in South Jersey, but what they're saying is that it might have something to do with the cicadas, that X generation cicadas coming out. It might have something to do with, they don't know. They actually don't know. So anyway, but the good thing is that they we had a bunch of wrens. We haven't had wrens in so long. The entire summer we have wrens, and now all on the front yards. They're so resilient. Okay, so that's my story. Okay, now I'm going to talk about Gilenya. All right, switching channels. All right, and I got so much. I actually let me try to stay focused. All right, Gilenya. If you have been on Gilenya, all right, and I was on Gilenya for maybe 6 months. You are at risk for it is uh, macular. It's high. Hi there, Sharia. What is it? It is a water uh, um, macular degeneration. It's a hydro macular degeneration. So what happens is you have to go to the eye doctor every 6 months to find out whether you have uh, eye difficulties. So it's easy reversible, but while you're taking it's a dangerous thing. The other side effect that I see, because I was on Gilenya, the other side effect is that it puts you at risk of skin cancers. And I don't mean basal cells. Everybody, basal cells. Basal cell is not, it's, people like to throw around that skin cancer. It's skin cancer. If you don't get basal cell checked out, on it rarely will turn into something bad. So it just, the only time basal cell can be bad is if it's on your face and you're older. That's bad. But the Gilenya type of skin cancers that make you more susceptible are melanomas. Uh, and I'm not going to be doing MS exercises after. Hi, Linda. I'm not going to be doing it because I have an appointment. See that here? That is a possible melanoma. I just had one removed right there, a melanoma about in April, and another one's popping up. And so if you have been on Gilenya, you have to go every 6 months, even after the fact. Hi, Susan. I use the SPF 50 on my face and on my body, and they're still popping out. So, and it's in the past year, in the past year. So, and I have not been on Gilenya for 5 years now. So, all right, Linda's in the hospital. Linda, a bad UTI. Hi, Diana. So it's terrible, Linda. Um, are they giving you medication that is taking care of it? Because they're probably throwing a lot of antibiotics. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is go to the pool and swim and then shower. Then I have this emergency appointment to remove that and to test it because this here, it's small, but there's a type of melanoma that can go systemic in 6 weeks. In 6 weeks. So when these things pop up, it's so important for us who have been on Gilenya to get them removed. And there's a very good chance that it might not be anything, but it's better safe than sorry. He's going to take that out, send it off to pathology. They'll call and they'll say, yeah, it's melanoma, or no, it's melanoma not. And if it is, they'll do what they did this time. They'll say, all right, Dulci, come back and let me make sure I got everything. And then they'll make it deeper and around, and it'll be a pretty little scar there. And then I'm good. Hi, Jane. So then I will be good for the next hopefully 6 months. I don't know. And I'm reluctant to go right now because I'm gonna get yelled at. I'm gonna get yelled at because I am a little tan. So anyway, if you've been on Gilenya, it is imperative that I don't care if you've been on it for one dose, you have to go to the skin doctor, to the dermatologist every 6 months to be examined. What I've discovered is that it is imperative that you know what melanoma looks like, what it looks like, and all you have to do is go on any cloud, any DuckDuckGo, any search engine, and pictures of skin cancer, and copy that, put it on your wall above your fish tank. I don't know, put it anywhere, and look, because I'll tell you what, is great as my dermatologist is, as great as any dermatologist is, uh, 9 times out of 10, any melanoma or skin cancer, basal cell or anything, it is actually spotted by the person who has it. So we find our 100%. I was 30. I found my first. No, I was in my late 20s. On my calf, I found my first basal cell. So it's good. It is good. Hi, Jane. Good morning. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, all right. It's okay. So anyway, it's important that you just get it taken care of and spot it yourself. I found the basal cell. I found another basal cell. I found a melanoma, and this here, it has a gray, whereas typical moles have look brown, or but this one popped up. It just popped up. It's a little raised, it's a little jaggy, and it has a gray. It looks a different color. That's a warning sign. Maybe nothing, but thank you. You know what? Oh, prayers are good prayers. Um, by the way, all right. So what was I gonna say? Uh, Linda's sharing that they're doing a cocktail. Them, I assume I'm reading into it. They're doing antibiotics, and she's weak because UTIs, bladder infections. Hi there, Gina. Thank you. UTIs make us weak. I take copious amounts of cranberry supplements, even though my neurourologist says, no, there's no studies that show it works. But anecdotal, I've been on 42,000 milligrams of cranberry concentrate every day and haven't had a UTI in 5 years. So, oh, oh, okay. You know what? It's working. Call it placebo. I don't know, but my body says, you're taking this. We're not gonna give you a UTI. We're gonna keep that from you. So, but Linda, UTIs. What do UTIs do? They, number one, sometimes they activate our MS. So all of a sudden we're having a rough time with MS, right? They make us weak. They give us a phantom attack. So maybe we aren't having any problems, but all of a sudden we have a temperature because we have an infection going on, and we're not walking well, we're not feeling well, we're tired. It's awful. So it is normal. By the way, I I was using my let's see, my scooter to get to the pool. Since I went to the neurologist and he yelled at me, he didn't yell at me. Hi there, Dennis. Since since that, I have been using my walker in the pool, just trying to walk. And guess what? I'm walking. I am walking. So use it or lose it, because all right. And Diana, All right, Sonomus infection. I have a bladder removed. Oh my God, Diana had her bladder removed because of Sonomus infection. Oh my God, bladder removed. How? You know what? All right, Diana's sharing that she had her bladder removed because of a serious infection in her bladder. Now, I didn't know you can live without a bladder. So what do they do? Tell us. What happens when you do, how do you live without a bladder? That's what I want to know. So, by the way, use it or lose it, right? So that is all right. What else? Uh, Fish tank. All right, Gina, to tell you about my fish tank in the back. This is guppies in the back. It's my Darwin tank. Uh, I went down. I got lyre tail, fancy tail guppies. I got blue ones. I threw in a red, a couple females, and I decided I wanted to design. So I'm playing with DNA, right? I'm playing with fish DNA, and I'm trying to breed the most beautiful fancy tail guppy. But let me tell you, I love God's creatures. In fact, I love God's creatures. So the problem is that these ugly males and females are born, probably more so than the beautiful kind, and I won't flush them. It's like they have a right to live, so I feed them. So the place is overpopulated back there. It's probably got 20% beautiful, beautiful. It's like wow, God, you created that with the males and females in there. So it's fun. It's my Darwin tank. Uh, Oh, so and you're a swimmer, Diana. So she wears Diana when she doesn't have a bladder. She wears a bag. So it's fan. It's good. Those of us with bladder. In fact, I have that bladder stimulation. It just it comes to a point where I've had MS so long and I've been dealing with bladder issues. In fact, that's number one issue that happens to, you know what? In fact, I know the statistic, and I'll just say, let's say just about everybody with MS will have some sort of bladder and bowel issue at some point, right? Well, it's come to the point where all right, you get the tenna, the panty liners nowadays. They're little microcrystals that lay flat, and once you say you have an emergency and you go to the bathroom, they packed out with they get away from your body. There is no reason why anybody should take any medication anymore. Uh, so the bladder hanging, the bladder bag, and nowadays these underwear, the diapers or these panty liners are like underwear. They're really nice. So and they work twice. You all right? Too much information. So the inner stem. The problem I'm having with the inner stem is that I'm not detailed. I'm just not detailed, and so it does work if I am disciplined. If I'm disciplined, but you get lazy. You get you get lazy with MS. I just noticed. Well, anyway, you get lazy with MS. I do. It's like, look, if I'm using the walker, if I'm trying, in fact, if you notice that you are totally continent, dealing with the interstim, you're taking your medicine, life's good, you're totally, and you're walking with your walker, and all of a sudden you go out on your patio and there's a ramp, and the ramp gets all cattywampus, and your walker starts going on, you go, and all of a sudden, so you're trying not to fall over, and all of a sudden you got these things going on, and the puppy runs under your feet, and you drop a glass, and at that point your brain says, just pee on, fall down on the water and pee, because it's like juggling. You didn't have to go to the bathroom before, but all of a sudden all these other stimulus happen, and so what we have to do. No, you pee the floor, Sarah. You pee the, and then my husband comes with the Nature's Miracle, which has the enzyme, picks me up, throws because we have hardwood floors, throws paper towels on it, sprays Nature's Miracle, which is wonderful. If you have puppies or cats or anything, um, to eat the urine smell. It's an enzyme that eats biological stuff, whether it's blood or pee or anything. So you spray that on the floor, you spray that, and you clean everything up, you spray it, wipe it, and it eats the urine. It eats that. So there is no reason why anybody or any house or any car or anything should ever smell like urine or so. Yeah. And you know what, Sarah, I will tell you that peeing your pants is more of a pain in the butt because you're gonna wash clothes. It is. I don't pee my pants. I don't soil my clothes because I've gotten lazy. I've gotten lazy. I've gotten lazy. All right. Am I wearing something that will contain the urine? Am I, I'll tell you what, I was at the pool yesterday, swam, and God was working big time through me. Just, it's, God is working in you when I pray every day. I said, let me be an instrument of thy peace. Work through me, Lord. I will not miss an opportunity to represent you. So I was at the pool, and a woman came. She says, "Can I join you?" And she started talking. Next thing I know, we're friends, and it was awesome. It was awesome. So then I come home, and well, no. So after I was done talking to her, I wanted to leave, but I stayed there for an extra hour and a half because she wanted to talk Christ. She wanted to talk what she's going through, and I needed to be a Christian sister and listen to her, and just listen to her, and I did. So I went in, I showered, and I'm walking out, and I passed one of the family bathrooms, and there's a toilet there. I didn't have to go, but what I did, they took my walker, I turned, I went in, and I tried. And guess what? I went. So it's the word discipline. The word is discipline, and discipline is doing something because you should, not because you want to. Because if I think about my body, it's like I don't have to behave. I don't have to go there. I threw on a diaper, and I'm thinking, I love Tenna, and I like number six long pose or and Diana. So it's to me urinary incontinence pads to me are very much its correlation like leashes are to some dog. I have a dog that is so well trained that he walks with me without a leash, walks right by my side. The minute I put him on a leash, he doesn't have to behave. He's like, I don't have to think. I don't because I'm tethered, right? So this is just it. The minute I put on a urinary incontinence pad, my brain says, "Oh, you don't have to use the bathroom. You walk by." The trick is to use these pads and learn not to use them, right? The trick is so it's you they're wonderful. These pads, these new pads. I'm telling you, if you're healthy, if I knew how awesome they are, they when I drove cross country, I would have never pulled over to go to the bathroom. I would have strapped one of those on, filled it twice, and then I had a Ziploc bag, put it in there so it didn't smell. Well, nature's miracle on that, and eventually I'd throw that out. I'm telling you, terrible, terrible. All right, hi Rob, hi Rob. Let's see, I'm looking past, and let me see. Jane. All right, let's see. Jane is talking to Sarah, and Sarah says, "All right, I've lost the loop." Jane says, all right, Jane's talking about she bought a goldfish plant, very unique. What is the name of a goldfish plant? That is neat. You know what, a goldfish plant. I'm discovering that I don't want water. I don't. I am to the point where I don't know how much energy I have for plants, right? For plants, I got one right here, a hanging spider plant. I don't know. I've lost my love of plants, and I was the potted plant queen. I I have orchids in the front room because I discovered, you know what, orchid people are strange people, and I will say that. I will say that because anybody who did well with orchids, I had gone. I had gone and I said, "How do you have orchids?" Because it's like African violets, orchids. I couldn't do. No, Dee Dee, you are so sweet. It's all smoke and mirrors, right? It's all smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. All right. So Dee Dee is saying that I am looking good, but this is smoke and mirrors. I'm an old lady. So anyway, so I asked people with orchids, how do I get it to flower? How do I keep from killing it? Right? They the orchid people wouldn't tell me. Wouldn't tell me. Guess what? I figured now I'm gonna tell you, right? If you have an orchid, because I got an orchid as a gift, right? What you're supposed to do is you get the orchid food, a little bit of the orchid food, right? Take an orchid, flood it, let it sit in water, flood it, just flood it and pour out the water, and you do it once a week. They have these new flower pots that you put the orchid inside of that, and then it has a string that wraps around the root of the orchid, and it goes down and it dips into water. And if you if you put a little bit of the orchid plant food and water there, then it's constantly watering itself. So, and mine are, they're in bloom now for 8 months now. I've got orchids in bloom. So, that's low maintenance. Low maintenance. Okay, Jane is sharing with us what the goldfish plant what the scientific name is, and it is. All right, I'm going to put on my glasses. All right, it's called Nematanthus wet wet wetsteini. Wetsteini. All right, Nema Nemathanthus. Nematanthus. Nematanthus. All right, Nematanthus. Wetsteini. Wetsteini. All right, and that's Wetsteini. Wettsteini. Wetsteini. Nematanthus Wetsteini. There. We go to trivia night every Tuesday night. There's a gal. She's a teacher, and I'm telling you what, she cannot pronounce or spell anything. So anything, things that you would think she would be able to, she should. But then again, and a couple of the people who are on our team can't stand her, but she is so sweet. She's so sweet, and being a Christian, uh, you know, we're supposed to look at the positives, right? Uh, it we're supposed to look at the positives. Yeah, orchid. You know what? And I'll tell you what. So she is so precious. She's like an orchid. This woman's like an orchid. She's an innocent. That's all right. You know, we all know people like this in the world. Let me see. And Gina, they're not delicate. Orchids aren't delicate. In Florida, orchids grow in swamps on the side of trees because they like humid. They're actually, if you understand orchids, you'll find out that they're like a weed in the swamps in Louisiana and Florida. They're a weed. They're a weed. They're a weed. All right. So I can tell you. All right, Kate. All right, that's Jane. Dee Dee. KJ is Jane. Jane Buck. All right. Sometimes she comes in, and sometimes she doesn't. Oh my God. All right. Let's see. I've got so many songbirds that are coming around out front. They haven't been. They haven't been. So anyway, that's good news. All right. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about, well, first of all, Gilenya and the skin cancer risk, right? Going to get checked. How many people have been on Gilenya, by the way? Oh, Gerber, Daisy. You know what? Gina's talking. It's Canada. In fact, Gina, I had to laugh because you sent me a message talking about how that our pressure mattress, air mattress that keeps you from having pressure problems in your bed doesn't work with flannel sheets, and I'm thinking flannel sheets. It's way too early for flannel sheets. Like flannel sheets, in Maryland, are something you put on in December, right? Yeah, yeah. You might put on t-shirt sheets in early fall, but in generally we wait until the winter solstice to put on our flannel sheets. But anyway, how are you doing, Jane? Jane Buck, how you doing? I know you've had your eye issues. I've been thinking about you because you are you're a phenom. You are such a person that works with everybody on this MS live channel. You just in this club, you are a you know. So Melissa says I just put more blankets on. I don't like flannel sheets because I wear flannel pajamas, and then she can't move. It's funny. You know what? And Gina and I found ourselves unable to move because of spasticity, and what that it's there's a pressure mattress you can get on Amazon, and they're for people who can't move in bed, and it keeps you from having pressure sores. And what it does is they're like little cells. Brian calls it the waffle bed because the different cells blow up and it constantly moves. So, and I'm thinking about that. Depends what you wear. I can't wear flannel pajamas to bed. I can't wear. All right, too much information. I can't wear anything to bed, anything, because well, I don't turn, so I can, right? I anything that I don't know. I'm Princess and the Pea, so anything that is under me that could create a little crease could keep me up at night thinking, oh my gosh, there's a crease, there's a P, 10 mattresses underneath. Can't do it. I can't do it. Uh, uh, anyway, another eye appointment. All right, it's a vascular issue. Well, that's terrible, Jane. That's terrible. So you have another eye appointment. They think it's a vascular problem, and I say, you know what? That's just wrong. You're not allowed to have MS and eye issues. You know. Tell me, Jane, have you ever been on Gilenya vascular? I'm asking questions. Yeah, DDI, yeah. Soft pajamas are great. I have a pajama drawer like you wouldn't believe, but it's not for sleeping in. It's for getting up at night, for getting cozy at night, and then in the morning I throw on pajamas. But you know, I don't know. I'm nature girl. I am nature. I'm nature girl. And you know what, Jane, forget it. What are you asking Dennis? I remember satin sheets of the 70s and 80s. I still have a number of satin pillowcases. And the reason why is because as you get older, you don't want the cotton to pull your face forward. You don't want that, right? So, but satin, uh, um, the satin, the satin sheets are so hot because they don't breathe. Let's see. All right. So we're talking about, Jane, it's not giant cell or Jane, what do you, all right, you're having a discussion. A discussion. You know what, Jane? I did. I planned. All right, Jane's asking. She sent a package of seeds, and they were zinnia seeds, and she sent them to a number of us on MS Live. I got them. I planted them, and a few of them took off. Few didn't, but they just they're of them. I got a big, beautiful plant out front. Just out of one seed, and it had multiple colors on the one flower branch. It's like, wait a minute, I've never seen a zinnia plant with multiple colors. Normally, you plant lots of zinnia plants, and each one has a different color. But this is different colors on one plant. So what I'm doing is I'm harvesting the faces of those cute little zinnias, and then next year I'm going to plant them on in my butterfly garden. I love them. I love them. I love the gesture. And you know what? I will have in my monarch butterfly, I'll have milkweed. By the way, if you want a monarch butterfly garden and you want some milkweed seeds, you let me know. I'll send you some swamp milkweed seeds. Uh, all right, let me see. I don't, you know what? I don't have enough stamps for the things I send out. Uh, uh, well, I'll send me a postage paid envelope. I'll send you some more bookmarks. I'll send you a care package. But if you send me a postage paid envelope, because I got 100 rubber stamps, and I'm working my way through them because I'm sending everybody a bookmark. But anyway. So Melissa says, Sarah, I agree, it can't be nature girl because something happens in the middle of the night. I want to be covered up. Yeah. Well, you know what? Those of you with kids um, in the house, yeah, you have to. I don't have kids, so I can get up in the middle of the night and walk down, go to the bathroom. Yeah. Yes, Susan, flannel pajamas are good when you're not in bed. That's true. When you're not. And I have them. Remember Murphy, my little black poodle? Well, I had him. I ended up getting red pajamas with black poodles on them, and I anyway, I wanted to get him uh, uh, red pajamas with white girls on them. Is that racist? No, I just wanted him. I mean, I'm a white. It's not racist, it uh, I don't know. I have seen all the good, bad, and the. Uh, it's true, Melissa. And it's so funny. It's yeah, it is. I was sitting there with my friend at the swimming pool. I was wearing my bathing suit top, and he said, "You're about to pop out of your bathing suit top." And I was like, "Does that bother you?" I'm thinking, so what? He says, because I said it's not impressive. I will tell you, it's not impressive. And he says, no, I'm looking out for you. But why am I being a jerk? All right. So I tied it tighter. It's just because Melissa, you're right. Parts are parts. We all have them. At some point, you just have to. At some point, you just have to stop thinking that you're special because you have boobs. As I have to laugh. I have to laugh. I go to the gym, and some of these girls are they're wearing almost G-string bathing suits, young girls. And think about the leggings that are now really popular. They're the kind that they are so tight and they go up your butt and stuff. So I go to the gym. I'm talking to my mother and my 92-year-old friend. I'm just talking to people, and I like they work out all the time. I said, you know what? You guys need to have those sexy leggings, you know. And you know what? Make sure you get the kind that will give you camel's toe, because if these young gals think they're special because they're sporting camel's toes, right? Who without a VJJ can't sport a camel's toe, right? All right, there I said it. I shouldn't have said that, right? Right? I remember, I hate to say this for you Shawnee High School people, but I went to the high school reunion after what 25 or 30 or something. I went to the high school reunion and I wore it was like a priest collar outfit, and I had to laugh, and a kilt I wore, and I had to laugh. There were people who showed up, uh, not believing that anybody else who showed up there had boobs. It was boobs on parade, and to laugh, I had to laugh. I'm thinking, uh, it's oh yeah, I had them too, right? And I tell. All right, Dennis, have I gone too far? All right, right? Have I gone too far? All right, I'll stop. I'll stop. Anyway, it's, you know what it is, Dennis. You know what it is, Melissa, Gina. You know what it is that when you've had something really to complain about, you feel like you're callous in life. It's like, yeah, you're naked, your bathing suit top falls off and you're doing laps, and it's like, and you're like, okay, I just have to stop and put it back. It's nothing is a big deal. Nothing, you know, nothing's a big deal. It's like, you think that's an issue? You think, you know, I'm going to fall in public, so you think, all right, I've got an emergency dermatology appointment. It's what's important. I'll tell you what's important. All of a sudden, you realize that you're taking the dogs for a walk, right? And I'm trying to do that yesterday. And I'm going to pick figs at the fig tree. And I get to the end of the street. Remember, Ranger, my disability dog, has got hip dysplasia so bad that he can't walk anymore. So I get him on the Polaris and I hold him with a leash. Uh, uh, that little crazy spaniel has to run a mile and a half to get the piss and vinegar out of him. So I'm going to the end of the block, and there's a guy walking with a bicycle that has. And I said, you shouldn't be walking your bicycle. You should be riding your bicycle, because I'm a smartass. and I like to tease people. So I stopped, and he says, "Well, I got a flat." I said, "Well, where do you live?" He lived like 3 miles away, and I said, "Oh my gosh, what I want you to do is go up to the street to this address, 115, pull in. Um, we are going to help you." And he says, "You don't have to." And I said, "That's the beauty of the gesture." I said, but God's smiling on you." So anyway, so it was so awesome. Uh, my husband fixed his tire because I called. And just to be an instrument of peace. You know what? All right. So you're sitting at the pool, your top falls off. That's not a big deal. What's a big deal? I told him. He looked at me. This guy's name's Chris, and he shared some stuff. And I said to this guy, he told me, he says, "You are." I gave him a bookmark. He says, "You are such a blessing. You don't believe what I'm going through. I've been praying, and I said, and he says, and you have been a blessing." And I said, "Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Chris. You know how awesome you feel that you've been blessed in your situation of being desperate? You know how awesome you feel? You know how much more awesome I feel that God used me to do something easy for you, to encourage you, you know what? We've both been blessed by God here. And I'll tell you what, I would rather be, you know, the stuff in life that happens to us when we have MS, when we have anything bad, that stuff happens. But to be a conduit of God, to so much of Paul's letters talk about how it's one thing to have faith, right? Faith, and you don't do works. You don't do works to try to please God, right? You don't do that. But if you have faith and you're receptive, God will work through you. It's so huge. It's so huge. Humble, humble. But the thing is that when you pray to be an instrument of peace, it rarely is it comfortable. You're driving, you're in a hurry to get to your dermatologist appointment. There's a guy broken down on the side of the road, and you pull over and you roll down your window and you're like, "Can I call someone for you?" And they say, "Oh, I don't have a cell phone, so please." And all of a sudden you're calling somebody, and it's like that's low hanging fruit. So you're 5 minutes late. Guess what? He would have kept you. The dermatologist would have had you wait 15 minutes in the waiting room. All right, so just be receptive. Gina shared when others without MS share their humble stories. It's true. Gina's, it's funny. I've got like, "That's nothing, buddy." It's true, Gina. You listen to people who are desperate, right? I go to the gym because that's where real sick people, they're healthy, they don't have anything wrong with them, but they're not healthy in the brain. They're desperate. So I go there and I listen to people who are in trouble. And Gina, we can have pissing contests. We can, and early on, people with MS early on, um, somebody in MS Frontiers, primary progressive says, "Oh yeah, it's the invisibles because if you have MS, you have invisible symptoms, and then you have visible symptoms." So he would say, "Oh yeah, you invisibles, right? Invisibles. When we have invisibles, we we complain more. When we're visible, it all of a sudden it's hard, and we have both visible and invisible signs, and people come up to us and say, "Oh, you've had MS that long? You're doing great." And you're like, all right, you have to resist, do opposite of knee jerk reaction, because your knee jerk reaction is to punch them, right? So what I like to do is say, no, I appear to be doing great. I appear. And then they say, well, tell me what's going on. And I said, no, I know what's going on in my life. I know my story. I care more about your story. Tell me your story. I don't want to hear my story. I'm not going to complain. So it's like, you don't want to hear my story. A lot of times, if you tell them the story, they look at you as horror. It's like you tell them, "Oh, I fell this morning. I was coming in from the porch. I fell over, dropped a glass, fell in the water, peed on the floor. My head." They look at you as if they're like, "Oh man, something's wrong with you." No, don't even start, because our comparative stories can we will always win, and you will win. All right, you have MS, you will win. Hands down, you'll win, whether you're invisible or you're visible. You can tell a better story, a more horrifying, a more painful. You will win. I promise you, you can win. However, should you? Right? We've all heard it's better to lose the battle than win the war. I mean, should we go out and win every battle? It's like, oh, good. All right. Somebody comes up and they say, oh, you're doing great. And you put them in their place and you tell them how bad life sucks, and you get everybody. So you win. You trump everybody. You have now won everything, right? Problem is, you have no friends and everybody thinks you're an a-hole. When people say, how are you doing? It's like, I know how I'm doing, but I want to know how you're doing. Deflect. It just, and then all of a sudden they share with you something that's remitted on you. Like, ugh, that's really bad. How do you deal with that? So you suspend. You watch their movie. And then you pray to God. You offer. I offer. Do you want me to pray for you? How do you want me to pray for you? And I do that, and then I say, well, their pain is real and it's subjective, right? So my MS pain is not as bad as somebody who feels out of control, right? Yeah, I know I know there's no control in life. I have been brought to my knees, right? So unuseful, because only when we're brought to our knees, and only when we have all semblance of control removed from us, only when that happens are we useful to God. Only when we realize, people come up and they say, I haven't slept in 3 days, and it's like, well, because society, surely you've slept. Yeah, but I haven't slept 8 hours. Well, that's because society says a normal person sleeps 8 hours. How Einstein slept 1 hour. So, how many hours do you need? Anyway, hi, Paul. Hi, Liz. I know it's the time now. It's 12 o'clock. So, anyway, what I'll tell you to do is please subscribe to the channel, because now I'm having on YouTube, only people who are subscribed can chat. So we're not going to get weird people popping in and trying to sell us snake oil. So go subscribe to the YouTube channel and then participate in the chat on YouTube, no, Facebook. Follow me. And meanwhile, go to msfrontier.org and see some of the resources we have for you. If you've ever been on Gilenya, go to, first of all, go to the optometrist and also go to the skin doctor, right? Dermatologist, like I have to right now. I love you all, and I'll pray us out there, Heavenly Father. I just ask you to use everybody who's watching is as a conduit to bring peace into the world and to forgive others and just to be used by you, Lord. It's tough having MS, but it's tougher being not having it and not having anything tough that you can survive by. So I'm just asking that you comfort everybody who has MS and is struggling, and that you allow us to be an instrument of thy peace. In Jesus' name I give thanks. Amen. Thank you all, and I will see you on Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend. All right. Sorry I'm not doing the exercise right now because I have stuff. Bye, guys.